It's no BS
Yes, it
time.
is.
Welcome
Yes,
to
it
the
is.
show.
We are
What's up,
back.
everybody? What's up,
Excited to be here.
Sean?
What's up, Harriet? Excited to be here. Excited.
It's always a pleasure, even on days like today when I'm super tired. I
Right.
mean, your sis is woe out,
I
but
believe it. I
we
believe
still
it.
got to show up for the people. We got to show up for the culture. Lights,
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
action. Let's go.
Lot to
Let's
talk
go.
about. We got to get into it. We got to get into it. And we got to kick it off what we calling BS on. So let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. So many things to choose from, but I'm putting a bullseye on this one. Bullseye as in Target. Y'all saw all that stuff come out. Now, I love me some Target. They have great house stuff.
Mhm.
And for the record, I'm still in extra time because my counter hadn't started yet. So the time don't really start till the counter start. But
Oh, okay.
anywho,
Okay.
so I was a good girl. Sean, I was a good girl. I didn't go to Target because we got to stand with the people, the whole team. You know what I'm saying? If
Right.
we
Right.
boycotting Target and Target's boycotting us with the whole DEI rollback, then bump it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my people. And so hubby said we're gonna go the other day. He said we're gonna go because we're looking for a new air fryer. I said we'll go look at Target too. And I was like, whoa, no, we are not. He said, you didn't hear? The boycott is over. I was like, what? Jamal Bryant called it off. Lo and behold, I'm on social. Brian is stepping back like, oh, you know what? No, we're not. Then the women who originally started the movement were like, how he gonna co-op our thing, take it over? It wasn't even his boycott that he started, and then tell Black America it's over. It's not your call to make. And you stole credit from women, Black women, and separate from that, from the originators. You didn't have no part of this. You stood up, put your face and name on it, and then you calling it off. You didn't even confer with us. So are we boycotting or not? I mean, really, how I feel about it, they haven't met all the demands, but also the fact that you did it in the first place, I ain't fooling with you. So it ain't a boycott for me. It's just a stop. Okay, I'm stopping.
Like you went over time.
I'm
You know,
done.
that's crazy because there is a new Target coming into the city. It's coming out to Antioch at the Tanger Outlet. Yes, it is a brand new Target that just got approved. So this time next year, there's gonna be a whole nother Target in the city, and
Are you going?
I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say no. I used to enjoy going to Target, but when it was in 20 minutes down the road, it was easy for me to say no. It's gonna be a little more challenging to say no now, but I'm gonna stick to my guns. I'm not going. I'm not going. We gotta
All right,
hit.
so we holding strong, Sean. We
We
holding
gotta hold
strong.
strong to this Target boycott. We gotta do it. But
All
there is a
right.
new one coming. It's gonna be enticing though. I ain't gonna lie.
I
It's
know, I know.
gonna be
Target
bad.
has really nice stuff.
They do.
But you
They
know
do.
what? Standing with the home team. I ain't
Standing with the
fooling with
home
you,
team.
Target. Said
Standing
what I
with the home
said.
team.
Boom. All right, Sean Diddy, you up?
All right. You know what? I think I'm calling BS. Really, it's on these gas prices because first of all, I have an SUV and she's a nice one. Her name is Storm. She's a nice, beautiful car, but she's an alcoholic. She likes to drink and she don't like the cheap stuff. So it just hurts my heart. I'm calling BS on these $5 gas prices that I am seeing at gas pumps on 93. What are we doing? What is going? I mean, I'm gonna have to get like maybe like a bike or something. I'm gonna have to like get on public transportation going forward. There's nothing wrong with it, but I can't be out here stunting in the streets anymore because gas prices are just way beyond what they need to be. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm calling BS on these gas prices. There's no need for these gas prices to go up just because we're in a war. Explain to me. We don't have anything in backstock. We don't treat this like you work in like you work in the grocery store. You ain't got nothing back in the stock room to keep us going. Like, what are we doing? And I think it's all a joke. I think it's all a joke. That's what I'm BS on. I can't
Look,
go anywhere.
like Tequila Johnson said in her post, we riding on faith fumes and prayer at this
Right.
point. We about to be rolling around in
Exactly.
bikes and dragging our cars with our feet like the Flintstones because it's hard out here in these streets.
It is.
It's
It's
hard.
hard. I went to East Tennessee last weekend and I'm from a small town called Morristown, really small town. But they had $5, $4.99 gas then. And Nashville didn't
Wow.
even have it. I'm like, what is going on? And then past couple of days, it's gotten up to that point in certain places. I mean, but this is not the end of it. That's the crazy thing about it. Even if we got out of this war right now, um, people are saying, experts are saying that we may not see gas prices come back down until October. It could take
Right, because we're getting ready to go into spring, well, more spring break, college spring break, high travel season. We're going into graduation season, high travel season. Then, good grief, we're going into summer, big travel season. So, why would you
right.
drop
Why would you?
gas prices? Why
They're
would
making
you?
so much money, they're not going to drop it. So that's what
Yeah.
experts are saying, that we may not see the prices come back down to better levels. Maybe not where they were a couple of weeks ago, but that may not happen until October. Now, the good side about it is, though, they're saying around Halloween time, and then what happens the next week? Midterm
Yep.
elections. So
Yep.
that's the only positive to it,
A little
because
motivation.
it's going to be a
Bring them
constant
prices down.
reminder. It's going to be a constant reminder
Yeah.
to everyone about this president that said he would keep prices low, keep us out of wars. He said all these things, and he's failing on every single campaign promise. It'll be a good reminder when you go to the ballot box on November 3rd, for
I
sure.
bet you around then we're going to see gas prices drop. We're going to see that interest rate drop because they just announced, the Federal Reserve just announced they're holding steady on it. But yeah, I
Oh
bet
yeah,
you right around election time, we're going to see them drop. Just a little motivation and some incentive for the voters.
oh yeah, because
Republicans,
we're gonna
they
have
need a prayer right now.
a new Fed chair anyway. By that point, by that time,
Yeah.
it's gonna be somebody that Trump picks, and so they're gonna do exactly what he wants. So they're gonna drop interest rates probably really when we shouldn't do it, but they'll just do it just to appease him. And so that's going to be the really interesting thing to watch too. Is that how's that going to affect the economy if we're dropping interest rates to a place that really is not in the best for the country or even for the consumer at that point? Because you can drop them too low, people give them this wild and fantasy dream that they can do all this, but they, in all actuality, when we get back to normalizing, if you're going outside of where they should be, then it affects you in a negative way. So that concerns me too.
Remains to be seen. Something else that's concerning right here at home, after a lot of pushback, we've got a hot topic for everybody. After a lot of pushback from the community, that Buchanan overlay, that commercial overlay in Buchanan, it passed on the third and final reading. And just as a reminder to everybody, that is not just specific to Buchanan. It's being tested first in Buchanan. The Metro Council or city leaders have been trying for some years now to come up with a plan in commercial mixed use, if you will, commercial residential area, where when you have businesses, there are some regulations in place to protect homeowners, not
Right.
only their property value, but their peace, closing by certain hours, not having outdoor seating so close to the curb or so close to homes, no check cashing places, limitations on liquor and all that being sold in the area. So a lot of the residents, y'all remember, pushed back and we're like, no, that's not okay. We do want peace and safety in our neighborhood. We want to protect our peace and our property value, but at the same time, you're really hamstringing a lot of businesses, specifically Black businesses in this area. And if you want to test it, do it someplace else, not on Buchanan. But it passed on the third reading, Sean. Hot topic. So
Not
it's done.
shocked. Not
It's a
shocked.
done deal.
Yeah.
But let's just keep an eye on it and see how it plays out, because there's always space and room to still push back. So
Always.
we'll see.
Always.
We'll see. Speaking of pushback, uh, speaking of Nuck, if you, I mean, I love our director producer
I do
back there.
too.
Like, he's always with it. Nuck, if you buck. That's so fitting. Also, somebody did Nuck and buck. That is Joe Kent, the director of counterterrorism center. He
He did.
said, I'm out.
So I'm out. I
I'll
couldn't do
holler
it.
back.
Said I couldn't do it. I'm not. Knowing what he knew, he's
Yeah.
like, I can't continue to stay here in agreement with this, knowing that we're in a war that we started. We initiated. There was no imminent threat. There wasn't any. And when you hear somebody from the counterterrorism talk about that, you really have to take that in consideration. Like, you can't act like he's just, oh, that's fake news. No, this is somebody, his whole job was to
He's
pay.
the director of counterterrorism. This isn't
Right.
just some pundit out there or regular.
No,
He is
no.
he is America's director of counterterrorism, who said we don't need to be in this war. I don't agree with it. Our basis is a lie, and and I'm abandoning ship in the middle of a war.
In the middle of it. So
Our counterterrorism director left.
that's how passionate he was about how he felt about what we were doing, and the fact that he lost a wife who was in the military. He's been deployed 11 times. So
11.
if anything, he understands what situations arise and when we should be getting in the middle of something and when we shouldn't. He has all the experience in the world, where this president has absolutely none. And even to hear him say in recent interviews that the president kept his circle small and they could never express to him their concerns about being in this war. They weren't allowed to. His advisors are very small, and we can imagine it's only just a couple of people that are in his ear. But the actual,
Literally just to
yeah, but the actual people with information, with evidence, with real hardcore facts, they're kept out. They're kept out of the mix. And what does that say about who's running our country? It's amazing that we have a president that does not want to hear facts. They don't want to. They don't want to make decisions based off of facts.
real and real time information for actions that not only impact your country, but cause a domino effect across the entire world. That is scary. And Kent said in his resignation, I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Listen to this. Remember, the reason that we went to war is because Iran posed an imminent threat to America. Our director, or now former director of counterterrorism, he said, Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation. And it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Also, want to point out Pentagon briefings said the same thing. There was no imminent threat. Iran started to hear rumbling about America trying to come for them after, coverting with Israel, and
Mm-hmm.
said, you know what, we're not going after them, but we are getting ready. We're mounting up
Right.
and we're on standby. And so it's just like, what are we doing? And he met with JD Vance, Vice President Vance, and Tulsi Gabbard before releasing his resignation letter, letting them know that he was resigning and why, and still got pushback. And the understanding is it was JD Vance, Vice President Vance, who we're seeing not necessarily aligning himself with the president on his position with the war, but also not separate. He's trying to play it close.
He is. He
Um,
is.
but the understanding is, hey, just keep it quiet, just hang on, don't leave. And then the president's response is, it's a good thing, talking about his resignation. It's a good thing. And then said that our now former director of counterterrorism, guess what he said, Sean?
What?
Your president said he's very weak on security. Now hold up. Now you saying that?
Now he's weak on security.
Now he's weak. But you appointed him and he's been in office, but now all of a sudden he's
Right.
weak.
If
So
he's been
you
so
didn't say
weak,
nothing before?
yeah. If he's been so weak, why was he still in position? And that's not somebody you need a weak person in position for counterterrorism when it comes to intelligence and information. You don't need anybody weak in that position. So if he was so weak, why didn't you get rid of him prior to this happening now? No, he's only weak because he doesn't agree with you.
It's giving, I'm real bitter about the breakup, so now I'm just going to make up lies about you to try and
Right.
taint your name.
Which is what he does to
bitter.
everybody. Which is what he does to
Right.
everybody that ends up leaving him. He does that to everybody.
I'm so over it. I'm so over it. Now, here's the other thing. Speaking of the war in Iran, there were some tough words. Okay, your president Sean, you're President Trump.
Ah,
He's
okay.
not the only one who can talk that big boy stuff when it comes to Iran. I want y'all to listen to this. Here is a message from Iran directly to y'all's president.
A message to the President of the United States. The outcome of war cannot be determined by tweets. The result of a war is determined in the field, the very place where you and your forces do not dare to approach, and you can only talk about it in your tweets. It's better to name this war as Epic Fear instead of Epic Fury.
So, Sean, I'm here for all of that. What got me the most about that, he said, no, not Epic Fury, Epic Fear.
Epic Fear.
That's gangster to me. That's
Yes,
gangster.
they literally said,
Yeah.
FAFO is what they said.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
fuck around and find out. Like
Yeah.
they don't care. Like
Yeah.
Iran is like not caring, and at this point, I truly believe they're taunting him, and then
Absolutely.
they know how immature he is, and they're taunting him. I dare you to put troops on the ground. I dare you. I dare you. Come on. I dare you. And
Because they know there's we stand a really good chance of not winning
absolutely
on the ground.
Absolutely. It's we don't. I mean, think about going back to Iraq. We it was rough. Especially when they came to that ground game. And that's not our territory. And you took a lot of experts will even talk about the fact that when it comes to desert, that we don't do well. As great as we have been trained,
we don't do the heat, boo. No,
yes, as wonderful and as strong as our military is trained, as Americans surviving in that kind of atmosphere, we don't do well. And to put you back in that same situation, this is their area, this is their territory. We'd be on their home turf. That gives them an advantage, and they have so many more troops than we do. I mean, it's been estimated that Iran has like 1 million troops. They have a lot of people. So is that the game that we want to play? To put more American lives on the line to be killed? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Because Iran wants blood. We killed 170 kids. They want blood. They truly do.
They want to kill us slowly. And see, here's the thing about war, that there's chess and then there's checkers. Okay, we are not playing the same game with Iran. You have Epic Fury. They went and dropped bomb, Iran, all of that stuff, dropping bombs left and right, spending over $1 billion a day. So already we're losing a ton of money. And then Congress is not too quick to fund this war. So we're running out of money, and it looks like we're not going to be re-upping, at least to the level that we need it to be. But here are the other things that people are not really realizing, or it hadn't hit yet. Oil is a huge part, not just of our economy, but of the world's economy, especially when you have to buy oil in US dollars, which right now there is a plan, an uprising to change the method in which other countries buy oil. See, we've been kind of bankrolling all of that money, and it's been backing American finances. So just that alone. But then also, when you choke out the Strait of Hormuz, that's where all those ships go through from so many countries, including ours, to transport the oil. They're like, everybody come on through. You, America, hold, part, you come on through. Yeah. We're not able to transport. We're not able to transport at the level that we need to. And then the price of barrels of oil going up every day, not to mention the impact it's having back here at home. Gas prices, the cost to produce so many goods, and then other countries having to now pick a line. Where now trade is being stopped, paused, or extra tariffs placed on everything. This is now a global war. And war doesn't look like what it used to back in the day, where we get on the ground and shoot it out. It's smart war. It's financial war. It's a technological war.
It is.
It's warfare across the board.
It is, but the scary thing about it is that the U.S. right now is standing alone.
Yeah.
Our allies are like, hell no, and I don't blame them. Because if I were an ally, if I were Canada, if I were anybody in the UK, Absolutely not. I'm not
Mhm.
standing by you because you started this.
Yeah.
This was between Iran and Israel, and they've been doing this for years. And yes, I know that we have been providing Israel with equipment and guns. I get all that. I understand that, but we weren't physically in it.
Right.
And you put us into a situation. So if I'm Canada or UK, no, I'm not offering you any help because what you started is a domino effect across the world, and everybody's going to feel the hurt from this. So why the hell would I help you do something that you shouldn't have done in the first place because of your ego? And so that's the scary thing about it, is that we're standing alone. And the man that is running the ship believes that we can truly stand alone. And that's not reality. It really, really isn't.
No.
Because eventually, if this continues, we are going to have to get on the ground.
Yeah. It's coming. That day is coming because they're baiting the president. And we already know that Russia, they went out and said, yeah, we are helping. What's up?
Yeah.
And then what you gonna do? Russia's already supporting and working with them, sharing all
China has
type of
been giving them
intelligence.
intelligence on us.
China said, we here. What's up?
Yeah, what y'all need?
You ready? And God forbid if China officially puts its foot in the war. You talking about a total massive technology shutdown warfare. And what do we literally live off of and depend on? Technology.
I mean, I think at that point you
Hospitals,
classify it as World War III. I think at that point you classify it as that. If China
Lord,
gets in the middle of this, but if China gets in the middle of this, as massive as they are, and they're going against us, what do you do?
all I know is I cannot imagine a world without my iPhone, my iPad. I got to stream. Don't take my Wi-Fi, China.
It'll all go away. It's all going away here. They get involved.
No,
It's all going away. It's all going away.
Well, listen.
You won't see another iPhone, iPad, anything.
I can't imagine. Speaking of going away, will they not? Troops in Memphis. Your president is expected to be coming to Memphis soon to talk about the safety measures that they've taken there in Bluff City there. Supposedly, they've done all this work to reduce crime because Memphis wasn't doing it on their own. He had to send troops in.
Had to send somebody
to
in
get it done. 7,200 arrests, 11,000 guns seized. They went and saved Memphis, and President Trump is coming to town. That is going to be interesting. What happens next remains to be seen. What happens when he gets here remains to be seen. It will be quite the show and the spectacle. And some of our most outspoken lawmakers live in Memphis, and they real Memphis. They real Memphis. It's gonna be some mess because that's a very blue city. The mayor was not okay. The local and state lawmakers who live there were not okay with the troops coming in, and so he's coming. There's another enemy territory he's stepping into. I can't wait to see how that goes down.
I can't either. I'll be definitely going to be paying attention to Representative Antonio Parkinson. Because he is very outspoken, and so I'll be paying attention closely to see what he has to say and where he will be when the president steps in Memphis.
He's gonna be front and center with that hat on. I'm gonna be looking like, where's the hat? Where's the hat? Oh, there he is.
The coolest dude there, but with a whole lot to say that's real.
Yeah, he definitely keeps it real, and he's not afraid. So I imagine he's going to find his way and have his say. Something else, speaking of our state lawmakers, something else that we need to keep our eye on is this bill that passed, cleared the House, where schools will be required, Tennessee schools will be required to vet and verify citizenship for students K through 12. And then report that information to the State Department, to the Department of Education. Now it is heading to the Senate. If y'all remember, they tried this last year, but it didn't quite make it because last year was check their citizenship, and if they're not here legally, you can disenroll them, basically kick them out of school. little bitty kids. And then what happens when their parents show up to pick them up? I imagine ICE will probably be
Right.
there waiting for them, separating families, arrested. I mean, just a whole mess. But we're back at it again. So we're going to see how this goes. Representative Lambert, William Lambert, Lambert was the sponsor of this bill. And he says, I mean, how many illegal immigrant children are in our schools? If the prior president had done his job and had not had a border that was porous, we wouldn't have this problem. Let's identify the scope of the problem. Here we
I
go,
mean,
talking about the past.
that is exactly what every Republican right now is doing. You can turn on the TV and every Republican from Pam Bondi and everything. Well, if Joe Biden had done, well, Joe Biden did this. We have been in this presidency of Donald Trump 2.0 for a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that is happening in this country is the effect of what he's done. So enough with this. Joe Biden had, Joe should have, or Joe Biden made this. No. What's happening right now is because of the man that's in the office.
Right.
Did we have this? Were we running rampant? I don't recall a lot of illegal children were enrolled in school. Like, was it just a running rampant number? Because I don't recall it being to the point to where it required a bill or a law to change that. I don't require that being a huge issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I had my head in the sand, but I didn't think that was something that we need to be concerned about. But why would we not want to educate the children that are in this country? Why would we not want to do that? Or instead of blocking them and preventing them, or finding other ways to be able to make sure they're in this country, and so why would we not want to try to educate everybody? And it's right. we're in a situation where it's always about trying to isolate and segregate somebody. That is what Republicans are doing. It's always about trying to isolate and segregate a certain demographic every chance you get. And you try to find more and more creative ways to do it, to let racism just continue to keep rising up. And that's exactly what it is.
You know, and my thing is, you know, shout out to the 3 Republicans in the House who did break rank and voted against the bill. They were like, this, we need to think this through a little bit more. We just cannot be in support of it, you know. And let's be honest, in a nutshell, should everyone who lives here be here legally, or let me not say be here legally. Should everyone who lives here follow the law of the land? Yes, we have laws in place for a reason. Now we can go back and argue about, you know, are these laws justified or not? But right. I mean, we want everything to be right, done fair, all of that. That means that our immigration offices need to get on it, because people may not be here legally or be a citizen yet, but that's because they've been waiting 2, 3, 5, 10 years for their ticket to be called, to go through the process. I understand we've got to clean it up, but there is a dignified, non-traumatic or less traumatic way, traumatizing. I mean, come on, there is a better way to go about doing it. Because what on earth are you going to do? Are you going to pull an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old out of class?
Right.
And then turn them over into handcuffs and backs of cars, and no parental representation, no communication. And then if you take them off, we've seen people being, you know, detained, and we don't know where they are, where they went. We've seen this movie play out.
Yeah.
That's kidnap.
It is.
That's kidnap. Like,
just think of the stress on a child when you would do that. They're not knowing what is going on. I mean, it's just it's a lot of it is very inhumane. But we're just, again, we have people in leadership that aren't thinking. They truly, it is about segregation and separation. That's what it is, and so afraid of anybody that does not look like them to run them out. And when I say that, it really comes down to, we're on a show called No BS, right? When I'm specifically talking about white Republicans, a lot of white MAGA Republicans that are so afraid of anybody that doesn't look like them, sound like them, talk like them, so afraid of them to be in this country. But why? What are you
Because they
afraid
are a threat to their power. This we
of? You
know.
afraid of? Because I
They
mean,
are a threat to their power, to their pockets, and they do not want any challenges. And right now, they are the architects, the gatekeepers, and the key holders to these power constructs that were designed to keep them on top and others on bottom. This is not just, I'm not trying to gaslight you. This is not in my head. If you look at companies, if you look at political houses, you see nothing but majority or all white. And those are power constructs that are keeping these systems going. And so when you have a people rise up, when you have an influx in people that do not look like you, then you feel threatened, you feel endangered. And so through your power portal, you're going to put measures in place to keep them down. But one thing about it, you can't keep people down.
you can't.
Humanity always rises
Can't.
and it all comes out in the wash.
You can't, because you cannot continue to spew that much hate and it not be eventually destroyed. And
Yes.
that's what's happening. It continues. We continue to keep chipping away at segregation and immigration issues. We continue to keep chipping away. Do we have a long way to go? We do. But if you look at the evolution of the Black community in this country over the past several, 50 years at the most, we definitely have found our place, and to the point, this country doesn't run without us. It doesn't run.
Period.
It doesn't run.
It was not built without us, therefore it
Exactly.
cannot run without us.
Exactly. And
So
it's amazing how white MAGA Republicans are just so afraid of somebody that doesn't look like them. And that's just me trying to be polite and saying it, but the racism is, and you, because you know nothing about us. You know nothing about Black people. You don't even take the time to understand Hispanics or anything of that nature. You just see somebody that doesn't look like you and you feel like you're supposed to be dominant over them for no reason.
well, I am quite curious to see what happens with this bill. If it does end up passing, if it lands on Governor Lee's desk, and then how the schools will respond, because these school districts, they do have the ability to push back and sue. We've seen cities, namely Nashville, always they'll take it to court. They will push back, exercise their rights. So we're going to be watching, because already it's been a very challenging and traumatic process to witness, but now we're talking about going directly to the children. So we'll wait and see. Speaking of trauma, your boy Cade Cothran, he's butthurt, he's traumatized.
He is. He should be. He should be.
Y'all remember old Katie Cade? He was the chief of staff for Glenn Cassida, who was the former speaker.
Mhm.
Both of them got in some trouble. They what was it, a shell company or whatever? They were getting
Yeah.
some kickbacks, funneling
Money
money,
laundering, fraud. Wow.
and they were convicted. And
Yeah.
then not only they're holding a smoking gun, but like they just pulled the trigger, like we saw it. But then Trump comes in, clears them slate. They're good to go. So Kay said, "What up? I'm getting back on a hill." He put his name on the ballot, his hat in the race to replace District 71 Representative Kipley.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to replace him. He was in there good, Sean. Thought he had it.
For a minute, just for a
And
minute.
then the GOP said,
Nope.
snatched his name
Gotta
off
go.
the August ballot.
I commend the GOP for making a good call. I commend you for making the right choice.
But
Thank
guess why they did it? Guess why they did it?
Mm-hmm.
They found out that he donated $100 each to the Justins, Justin Jones and Justin Pearson, two of the Tennessee Three, and said, no, a move like that, you're not real Republicans. So therefore, you can't be on our ballot. He's pushing back. He is challenging, appealing that decision, and said, I may even consider taking legal action. Because who are you to tell me what's up? But I mean, if we can have a convicted felon in the White House, may as well have one in the State House too, right?
I mean, if the highest office in the country can have it, I mean, I can understand why he would want to fight back, because his example is the president of the United States is a convicted felon and he got his job. Why am
Mhm.
I not getting my opportunity to run? Does he have a point? He does. Am I glad he's not on the ballot right now? I am. But he still has a point because we have a felon running the entire country. And
You know,
he felt strong enough to be able to do it because he's
yeah,
got a good example.
bold. Is it petty of me to want him to get back on the ballot and win just to see how he and
It
Justin
is petty.
Jones would
It
would
is
work
petty.
in the best? Okay, I'm sorry,
It
that's
is
petty.
petty. We got
Um,
enough criminals, felons running things. Let's wherever we can keep a felon off of out of a political position. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I said the silent part out loud. Okay, sorry. Well, we have a lot more people that are going to be on the ballot. We have so many races that are coming up. We've got to keep our eyes out for them. We do know that there is a blue wave. Let's just, before we end the show, let's touch this real quick, Sean. We've got the blue wave that's coming through across the country.
All over.
Republicans are in serious, serious trouble. We saw that in the last wave of elections. They are in danger. And since those, we've seen more from the Epstein files. And we now have the war in Iran that is also separating, dividing a lot of Republicans and MAGA as well. Two points of contention for our GOP buddies. So I'm interested to see how all this is going to play out. I'm also interested to see how this is going to play out right here in Tennessee. Everyone saw what went down where our friend Bo Watson did not second a motion to move forward to advance a bill that Representative Senator Charlene Oliver had that she was sponsoring for the grocery tax. Afton Bain was co-sponsoring that bill.
Mhm.
Vincent Dixie, Representative Vincent Dixie, made a motion to move it through. You need a second. Bo, where you
Where you
at?
at?
It was a no-go for him. Afton read him for filth, and I thought that was that. I mean, sorry, I keep saying Watson. Bo Mitchell. Bo Mitchell.
Yeah.
My bad. But then Charlene did it, like did her post. But here's the thing. That happened. But where do we go from here?
Right.
Right? Because we've seen Democrats and Republicans, going at it. But we have Dem and Dem, where he did not provide the support to his fellow Dems. His fellow Dems, clap back. And we've been talking about Democratic posturing, strategy, togetherness. And people, what we found, especially in Nashville and Tennessee, we don't necessarily like a lot of the bickering, the fighting, but there comes a time when you got to say it. You got to say the ugly things. So I'm curious to see what happens next. Will there be more division, or will this bring us together? Is this the energy that we've been waiting on from our local Democratic Party?
I
I
hope
don't
it
know.
is. I hope it is. I hope it's what it hope it energizes and really it needs to unite them because the and I've said this before, the biggest part of the one of the biggest issues the Democratic Party has is they're not united. They're not united all across this country and even inside of Tennessee. They're not united. And that's a prime example of not being united. Republicans will unite themselves behind a lie and hold strong on it and never waver.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Democrats
that is one thing they will stick 10 toes down
10
on a
toes
lie.
down
No, and it's a lie.
knowing that they are dead wrong, but they are
Yeah.
all be dead wrong together.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
Democrats, we do not unite behind each other. We do not unite as a party. We don't. And that's an example of that. So hopefully maybe things like this can engage a conversation like especially if it's looking like Democrats are going to take the House and the Senate and they're taking local houses and all across this country. If that's what it's looking like now more than ever, if you have to be united if we're going to be able to get through and correct a lot of the shit that we've been put in this past year. It's gonna take everybody walking the same way, the same pace at the same time in order for this to work. Because if we get the House and the Senate back and we're not on the same page, it's just going to be chaos and we're not going to get anything done.
And we are too close to the finish line. August will be here before we are too close to the finish line for there to be division. And if it is true that, you know, Bobo's salty because Afton whooped that tail, okay, I need him to get over it.
You got to get over it. Get over it. Move on.
And get back in line.
Yeah.
Like, what is we doing?
We got work to do. It's bigger than your situation. We got work to do.
Way bigger. But anyway, more to come on that. We're keeping our eyes open. We're watching it. We're going to see how it all plays out. And we want you all to keep watching us, joining us, hanging out with us. And it's so easy to do, isn't it, Sean?
It is. It's so easy to do. All of us checking on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, No BS Podcast Nashville. You can check us out on all your social media. Go to YouTube right now, No BS with Harriet and Sean Podcast. Like, subscribe, check out all of our previous episodes. Leave comments on all of our reels. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you want to be a guest on the show, let us know. You got a topic that you want us to dig into. We would be more than happy to hear those comments. But follow us on all your social media and check out all of our episodes on YouTube. No BS with Harriet and Sean Podcast.
No BS. No BS. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hang out. We want to see you. We want to talk with you. Until next time.
Absolutely.
Be good. Be easy. Make good choices.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there. Have a great one.